Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be learning the verses and bridge to My Lighthouse by Rent Collective. So in the first video we learnt the chorus, and you can find the links to that in the description. So I will sign the first verse for you and then we'll break it down.
In my wrestling, in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea.
Okay, so now I'll break that down for you. So it's in my wrestling. So in my wrestling. I'll put that to the side for you. Wrestling. So we're punching back and forth. In my wrestling, in my doubts. So the dominant hand is shaking on top of a flat non-dominant hand. So, in my failures, so failures, you won't, so just lightly cross your hands and then just away from you, so won't. You won't walk out. So two legs across the flat palm. So we're walking out, we're walking away. So far, in my wrestling, in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. So the next line, your, so we're just making a fist and pointing at God because it's his love, so it's your great love. Thumbs up for great, and then love over the heart. Your great love will lead. So we did follow in the chorus. It is lead with the thumbs. So we follow with the fingers. So this is, we're leading with the thumbs. Lead me through. So we have previously signed through like that, but this is less of a literal through. So just across the flat palm there. So the first verse in full. In my wrestling, in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead you through. Then it's you are the peace. So you are the peace in my troubled two hands. Spread the fingers out. and wave them. Troubled sea. So we're just making the waves of the sea there with the fingers. And then that line repeats. You are the peace in my troubled sea. So now we'll sign the first verse with the music.
In my wrestling, in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea.
And now we're on to the second verse, so I'll sign that for you now.
In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea.
Okay, so I'll break that down. In the silence, so it's the same as peace and silence. In the silence, you won't let go. So just putting our hands on top of each other, like we're doing one potato, two potato, but we just wave them a little and show that they're gripped. So in the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, so we're just drawing a question mark in the air with the dominant hand, with the fingers, well, the thumb just underneath the finger, as if we're gripping a pen. So, questions. In the questions, your truth, which we've done before in a few songs, will hold, same as grip. Then, the same as the first verse, the verse finishes with your great love will lead you through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the peace in my troubled sea. So we will sign the second verse and into the chorus.
In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea.
And into the chorus.
My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. My lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore.
And then we are on to the third verse, which goes back into the chorus. So I'll sign the third verse for you now.
I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled
So I'll break that down for you. So it's I, and then won't again. So I won't fear, because we're grouped by fear. Now, instead of signing what tomorrow brings, we're going to sign for tomorrow. I won't fear for tomorrow. So tomorrow, dominant hand, the pointing finger, just flick it forwards from behind the ear. I won't fear for. For is just both hands out. For tomorrow. So the words are, I won't fear what tomorrow brings. So I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each, so we just use the dominant finger, 1, 2, each morning. So that's hands crossed over, and then rotate them upright. I'll rise. So I rise. So with two fingers crossed over, we're just lifting them upwards and sing. So that's full section so far. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning, I'll rise and sing. And then, similar to the other verses, but with a slight difference, this time it's my God's love, rather than your great love. So, my God's love will lead me through. Then the same as the other verses, you are peace in my troubled sea, you are the peace in my troubled sea. So we'll go through that with music.
Tomorrow brings, with each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light.
And then we'd be on to the chorus. And then we are on to the bridge, which I will sign for you. And then we will break it down and then go through it slowly because it's quite fast.
You're the brightest, you will
Okay, so I know that was quite fast, but don't worry, we will break it down and then we'll go through it at a slower speed to help you learn it. Okay, so let's break the bridge down for you. So the first one is fire. So if we flick our fingers with both hands, and then one goes down, one goes up. Dominant hand goes up, non-dominant hand goes down. Fire. Then before, so we're just half closing the hand and then stepping it forwards. So fire, before, and then us, which we've done before, which is a big round circle with the dominant finger, us. So fire, before, us, then your, so the fist towards God. So you're the brightest. So brightest. Fire, before us, you're the brightest. Then you, again point to God, will lead. We're leading with the thumbs through. So you will lead us through the storm. So we did this on another song. Just take the thumb into the hand, into the non-dominant hand's flat. So, and then the hands come down in a diagonal pattern. Storm. So then that repeats several times. So fire before us, you're the brightest, you will lead us through the storm. So we're now going to sign that section at a slower speed. And now we'll go through the bridge and into the chorus at full speed. Okay, so now we will go back to the beginning of the song and sing the whole thing all the way through.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore.